The first openly transgender lawmaker in the United States has now pled guilty to multiple counts of child pornography, shocking leftists, literally no one else. Stacey Marie Lawton, born Barry Lawton, was elected twice to the New Hampshire House as a Democrat. He pled guilty last week to multiple counts of possessing child abuse materials. Text messages showed that he and his partner, 40-year-old Lindsay Groves, fantasized about abusing kids. Groves sent him at least 4 sexually explicit pictures of children between the ages of 3 and 5, all taken at the daycare where Groves worked between May of 2022 and June of 2023. In the texts, Lawton even told Groves how she should physically abuse the children in her care.
These people are sick. They are sick. These people need help. And you know, the crazy thing is that we're just normalizing this type of behavior. It's not normal. This is not good for society, or is it normal? How can you want to have pictures and photos, explicit photos of little children on your phone? Like, what kind of person? Like, I can't even. Like, what, bro? Like, bro. Like, bro. Like, how? How can you even want that on your phone? And this was a state representative, by the way. And you know, I thought this was cap. So you know what I did? I went to the website, and I'm gonna read y'all what it said. It says Lindsay Groves, which is the partner of what's her name? What's his name? Stacey Marie Lawton. So Lindsay Groves, 40, of Hudson, New Hampshire, pleaded guilty on October 14, 2025, to 3 counts of sexual exploitation of children and 1 count of distribution of child pornography. U.S. Senior District Court Judge F. Dennis Saylor IV scheduled sentencing for February 4th, 2026. Stacey Marie Lawton, the woman who was the transgender former New Hampshire state representative, pleaded guilty on November 3rd, 2025, to 3 counts of sexual exploitation of children and is scheduled to be sentenced on February 12th, 2026. So there's no, these are not allegations. These are not allegations. These people pled guilty to this. They pled guilty to this. And yet still, people, whether it's on the left, liberals, progressives, look us in the face and tell us that these people are normal. I'm sorry to say it, but if you are confused about what your gender is, and if you want to be a different gender, that there is something wrong up here. I'm so I just can't. No. And I don't even know why these people are getting guilty or plea deals. Why are they getting plea deals, bro? Like, this is straight death penalty, chair. Yes, bro. Yes. You can't be involved with kids and you're getting to walk. Like, no, bruv. No, bro. You can't. No, bro. Chair, like firing squad. Like, come on, bro. What are we doing? Why are these people getting plea deals? Like, what is this?
Here's a headline for you. The stay-at-home boyfriend is now an economic trend as more women than men go to work. And the reason they found is that fewer young men, Maggie, are entering the workforce than their fathers, their parents were. Is this a trend that you are noticing personally? And what do you think about this?
Yes, well, on the internet, we call those men NEET. So they're not in education, employment, or training. I think a lot of men feel really comfortable sitting online all day long. That's a very comforting space for them. And if they're being financially supported, whether by parents or a girlfriend, God knows why that woman chose them, then of course they can continue to do that. I think that's very disturbing. I would not have a stay-at-home boyfriend personally.
Well, we know that no woman would ever do that, right? Like, come on, bro. And listen, I do agree in a way. Like, as a man, you got to get out there and get it. Like, if you're at your crib being supported, like, after a while, you can, continue to accept money from your parents, obviously, if you absolutely need it. But, like, after a certain age, dog, like, you got to go out there and get it. But they have terms for y'all now, NEEKs, not in employment or education. That's crazy. But what happened to feminism, bro? Like, I thought this is what they wanted. This is what equality, like, what happened? Like, what happened to equality, right? Equality would imply that if, just like how women can go into the workforce, which, I have no problem with, but it comes with its own detriments, right? And, consequences. But I thought this is what equality was about, right? Just like how women can be stay-at-home moms, why can't men be stay-at-home dads? Right? These are the same people who are fighting for equality, but now if a guy wants to be a stay-at-home dad, it's a problem. Listen, I don't agree with a stay-at-home dad. I personally think that it should be a traditional way, right? Wife stays at home, takes care of the kids, right? Guy goes out and works, and she works if she wants to, optional. right? Obviously, and it's crazy because so many people can't see past the whole really, the whole trick that the Matrix did and basically just put both women and men in the workplace, and now they're taxing both of y'all instead of one, right? A lot of people don't even fail to still realize that. This is why we're in the predicament that we're in right now, why things cost so much money, right? And why you need basically two salaries now, two sources of income to basically take care of a child, not let alone three children, right? Which is basically the American dream: white picket fence house, two cars in the driveway, wife and a family. But I thought this is what y'all wanted, man. This is what feminism for equality. So I am just appalled and very, very surprised that the same feminists who were calling for this and the same people who wanted equality, now it's a problem when the guys want to exercise their part of, equality and stay at home dad. And I find it very ironic that she would say that she wouldn't stay or be with a stay at home dad, but men are expected to be with stay at home moms. Make it make sense.
52% of women ages 20 to 39 are now child-free. You know what that means? You understand what this means? We're the majority. We are the majority. There are more of us. More of us.
This is one of the saddest things I've ever seen. And to think they got mad at me when I said modern feminism was just a plot to drive women out of the home, destroy the modern family, and rip a hole in society. Now they're celebrating doing the thing that they claimed wasn't happening as usual. Listen, I just got one thing to say to this video and the women in the comments celebrating being able to take vacation after vacation after vacation because they made the choice to remain quote-unquote child-free. You guys are all going to be so sad and devastated when you hit menopause, or when you hit the end of your fertility window, which may happen before you hit menopause. There will be literally nothing you can do at that point.
Well, what can I say, right? The Matrix and the people who actually wanted this to happen actually succeeded. This is what they wanted, right? Birth rates are low. Women are all over the workforce. Women are, in education, right? We're talking about, I think over 60%, like women dominate colleges now, right? You go on a college campus, you're probably going to find two girls, damn near two girls. I would say probably 1.5 probably girls to one man ratio, probably damn near that, depending on what university you go to and depending on if it's a blue state, red state, whatever university you go to. But this is just a reality, right? They've succeeded. This is exactly what they wanted, right? You push women into the workforce, right? And I say it so many times, I really don't understand how people still fall. Like, can you imagine the amount of propaganda that actually had to happen, that we actually convinced women, right, that having a family, and finding a husband while you're young and fertile in your years, right, 18 to 25, which is what most men find attractive. They've pulled it from, 18 to 60. And besides, that's when you're most fertile anyway, right? This is like, we have convinced women that that is bad. Having a family is bad. And you're getting that from an older woman, by the way. She just said it. You guys are going to regret it. And I honestly agree with her. I dead ass think, because obviously, social media is becoming a thing now. Well, it is a thing. And a lot of people are posting videos and expressing themselves. I genuinely think that in the next 15 to 20 years, you're going to see a bunch of videos online of women regretting their choice to go into the workforce, right, and abandoning having children. I genuinely think you're going to see an epidemic of that. I swear. Because the unfortunate reality that feminism doesn't teach people and they don't tell you all about it. Yeah, it sounds glamorous. You go to work, you make what, $100,000 a year. You're making $8,000 a month. It's great, right? $10,000 a month, $12,000 a month. You could buy anything you want, go on trips, buy bags, buy cars, all these things, right? And women are owning more houses than single men more ever than before. But at the end of the day, when you have nobody to share that with, right? Because you chased a career, bruh, it's gonna hit you. And a lot of women, I don't think, are ready for this, because feminism lies to women and they tell them that, oh, you can be equal to a man and, you don't need children, right? And I'm not saying everybody should have children, but I'm just saying there are going to be a lot of videos, an epidemic of videos of women like literally going crazy because of this.